You are getting very sleepy. Oh, no, you're getting very focused. Very focused. Yes, focused. Hey, what's up, Skywalker? We're with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is December 6th, Friday, 2024. Completely out of order because, seems like a good idea at the time. Welcome to the Friday afternoon live stream. It will be truly an honor for me to interact with you today because that's what we do here. I think, hopefully it's working. You never know these days because you really never know these days. Hope you all are doing a fantastic. Hope you're doing it fantastic. Yes, I hope you're doing something fantastic, like macaroni and cheese, because macaroni and cheese is fantastic. Hello, Concept Design. How are you? It is, and we have Darren Orange. It's working. Are you focused? Because that was what. Why is this spotlight? Why does it do that? I have still not figured out this EV Mux thing, but I'm trying. That's the important thing. And the important thing is that crazy good eye contact. Yeah, totally ripped that off. We've got Baxter here. Hello, Baxter. He says, hi, _. And the Blazar Apexes are amazing. They are very, very interesting, for sure. I do like me some Blazars, and it's interesting. That's a kind of an initial shock, and then it kind of grew on me. And I wonder, with the Remuses, not necessarily the Apexes, but the Remuses, the B set really caught my eye a little differently. I still don't care for the mumping too much on the sides, but I do think on Super 35 they're going to look great, and so I'm really excited to try those out. We have the Rex Cam going on now, and then the other dog is back behind me, but he don't learn. He crazy. He's back there hanging out. I thought it for sure he was going to lay over there with the big pup, but that did not happen. That did not happen at all. Duran says, I think the Apex looks better personally, and that crazy autofocus. Well, autofocus is pretty nice on an anamorphic, considering it doesn't exist. What I don't like, and this is not a Blazar thing, is it's not available on RF or Z or any of those. They are planning on them. RF, they don't know. They'll find out when they find out because... Yay, Canon. But, it's their patent. They can do what they'd like. So we've got quite a few topics we can chat about. Not chat about. That would be like, so today's news... That would be chatting about it. So let's not do that. Let's chat about it. It's more appropriate. Jeff Hagan, hello, Jeff. I was just thinking about you as I was sitting here. Finally got my second one in, and I'm going to be making a video, and so I'm just going to totally just clone you. I'm just going to say, hi, my name is Jeff Hagan, and I'm going to tell you about how amazing the new OWC, what do they call the M1M2 is. It's actually my second one. I've been waiting for this one for a while so I could do a video. I was sitting there thinking, enough time has passed since you did your first one, and then you did a second one. It's like, come on, dude, let the paint dry a little bit. Let somebody else in there. Come on. How you doing, Jeff? We've got here. Darren says same RF is pretty. Yeah, it is, and Canon had posted on their socials today. So what's the most important thing for Canon right now? I'm like, allow others to make full frame autofocus lenses. And then I just, I dropped the mic and walked away, but it was all on text, so nobody actually saw me drop the mic. But you get the idea. Um, Concept says the Airy 265. Oof, kind of cool. It is kind of cool, and that is on my topic list today of things to just just shout about. There I am again. I feel like I've got a problem, and nope, don't have a problem. Uh, some words just shouldn't be elongated. But yeah, it is. It's on my list of things to talk about. And Jeff says, "Oh yeah," or he could have said, "Oh yeah." That's my shtick. That's you got to be big and red and like the Kool-Aid guy. I guess LBL lenses are going to be hard to find. Yeah, I mean it. So Red was very serious about developing a large format sensor, bigger than medium format at one point. But they kind of put it on the back burner because, well, there wasn't a lot of demand for it, and there wasn't a lot of lenses. There were some lenses out there that could cover it, but not that many, and that kept it out of the reach of everyday everybody. So let's be honest, the average Red owner is not using Panavision that often on average. Now, there's lots of Red owners using Panavision lenses, but there's not a whole lot of lenses that would cover larger formats. So yeah, that was kind of a thing. But now you've got things like the Sphere. You've got these Apple goggles that just kind of wink at you for $3,500. All of these things are, they are motivators. They are audiences waiting to happen. And I think Blackmagic and Airy are on the right path. And we'll get more into that too. Talking about the sweet spot. Ladies, I'm not talking about that. That's totally different. I'm talking about shedding. Yep, no. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a second. Well, Jeff says, I feel like Cam. Now people are calling me a shill for OWC. You're not an O. It's people can call anybody whatever they want. If people want to call me something, fine. Here's the truth. I'm not. And here's the truth. You're not. And here's the truth. Cam's not. He's not. He's doing stuff, but he's not a shill. He's not a shill. The definition of a shill, you don't know. Soap with a prize inside. That is the original shill game. Why is this so loud? It's so rude. How rude. We'll turn that down. OWC makes some fantastic products. And, when you're right, you're right. And you're right. So there's that. Let's see here. Baxter says, I want to call you Ted Baxter. Ted Baxter here. Zeiss and Canon make lenses best of both worlds. Yep. Concept says the animations are kind of annoying. It's like Apple. You want to open the calculator, you have to close things, you have to wait for it to go, and then open the calculator, it's like, calculator. And I'm like, just let me type. Just, seriously. Concept says, yep, share lens RF tech. Red users would be happier with the cameras in there. Yes, they would. Let's see what Pamir says. I think Red has to release a camera like the Airy or the Alexa Mini LF or Alexa 2. They don't need to release a camera like the Alexa Mini LF because the V-Raptor and the V-Raptor X surpass the Alexa Mini LF in pretty much every possible way. Yeah. Now the Alexa 265, it's opening some doors, and I suspect you will see, some people enter the doors because that's what doors are for. Unless it's the band. Oops, gotta go here to King. King says, good evening, Scott. Good evening, King. How are you? Concept, I have a shoot tomorrow. Well, congrats for you. I gave my wife the pitch. I love creative thought. Ooh. I think my wife wants product, cost, and where to get it. We are in a 15-second life. Yeah, she's like, don't do that. Just, how much is the tuna? How much is the can of tuna? How much am I going to save on it? I just watched Mr. Mom, so that's why I'm using the Scooter tuna, the tuna with a heart. Yes, Mr. Mom, great stuff. John Hughes films, also really good stuff. King says, you're too kind, Scott. People do be shilling. It's a overused word. Okay. People that are shilling are not going to tell you that they're shilling. They're like, here, I will be a shill for a moment. Hold on. Let me get a prop here. Man, it's hot in here, actually. Hold on. I got to get a prop for the shill moment. There's a shill moment. A shill moment. Let's see. Oh man, what's a good shill? Hello, my name is. Oh, hello there. How are you? Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, you were admiring my Soundcore music box. We call these jam boxes, and we place them on our shoulders. They are the most awesome thing on the planet. Oh, you knew that because I was playing a song literally about the Anchor. What do they call this thing? The Soundcore, whatever. No. I don't work for them, but this is the very best. I think everyone should buy one. Whoa! Is that the new Anchor Soundcore? I want it. I want it now. It's available. Here's my link. That was pathetic, wasn't it? But that is truly what a shill is. Usually they work in pairs too, by the way, in a crowd for crowd work, but you're not supposed to know that they're in it for it. So when it comes to stuff like that, if someone's being paid, they are disclosing it. And everybody that I know that everybody's whining about, they're disclosing it. So let's not throw shill around too much. But on the flip side, we're all adults. And if you think someone is shilling and they're not disclosing and they're not doing any of that stuff, which, I mean, a shill wouldn't necessarily disclose, but then you're adult enough to say, your opinion is like I twist your head. It is smaller. So, let's be grown-ups about it. It's YouTube. I mean, it's like watching a Tide commercial and go, those are shills. No, those are paid actors. I asked my doctor about Triopidin for my arthritis pain. It's not too loud. I don't know if you change your level, but my speakers sound okay. Huh. Well, very good, very good. Let's see. You're going to call me Teddy? Ted Baxter. Ted Baxter. You forgot the liquid slurps in the intro. No, I didn't. Refreshing. What is that you're drinking, Scott? I don't know. But I can tell you one thing, it's not Coca-Cola. That was product placement. Wayne's World, best product placement ever. It's like, try aspirin. Hey, Shivani, how are you? King says, by the way, do you have anything round affiliate link for that? By the way, do you have anything round affiliate link for that? For what? I don't know. Did I seriously catch up to all the comments? That's weird. Round affiliate link for what? Oh, for probably the speaker thing. Copy. Needed more of a coffee montage, but that's about right. Yep, it's we need to. I'm sorry. I'm just going to turn on my fan so I can enjoy my prop that I shall burn. I shall burn in disgust. That I will not be shilling for. Hi, Oakley. How are you? Go lay down. I'm going to blow smoke in your face. I mean, there's a little. Let me think. Let me word properly. There's a lot of negativity out there right now, and a lot of that comes from stress. And I hear you. I understand. A lot of people not working, and I hear you. That could generate a lot of stress, and people have a lot of time, and when they have a lot of time, they tend to just go out and take that negativity and point it outward. And we got to stop that. We got to stop that as a society. I wasn't going to do a monologue, but now I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to read this monologue. This is not really a monologue because I did not really. I can't even see that. This is pathetic. It's easier for me to just read it off of here. I was replying to somebody. Somebody was complaining, and they were complaining about not having a job, that the world is out to get them, the sky is falling, blah, 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 blah. Let me see if I can make this larger. Oh, I can. My life just got better. Now I can read it directly to you. And this is what I wrote. Hopefully, I haven't written it as a monologue. It was a reply, but here's kind of what I think needs to happen. It's quite simple, really. It's just not easy. Everything you do in life is a decision. Every day, you're responsible for your future. You're responsible for your income, your living situation, your family. Every day that you get up and decide to go to the job that you have selected is a day that you decided to stay in that apartment, that tent, that house, that town, that state, that country, that job, everything. If there's not any work where you live, move. You can move. You just decide not to every morning. I personally did it over and over. I decided to work this job. I decided to take a second job. I decided to move towns, states. I decided to move out of the city into the cheap suburbs, rural. I decided to spend 80 miles each way on the highway, getting to the job that I decided on. So I hear you. I hear that you feel like you're unable to make more or get the job that you want. But the truth is, the decision is up to you. If you think I'm out of touch or I'm being harsh or anything like that, I'm not. I'm being truthful and accurate, and it's something I personally did, and it's something that I do every single day that I get up. Some days I don't get up. So if you want something better, when you get up in the morning, decide how you're going to do it and do it. Otherwise, really, you're just complaining that your perfect world doesn't exist like everybody else. Thank you for allowing me this brief monologue that made me feel like I contributed something, hopefully positively, to society in some possible way. Who knows? But it is something that is absolutely true and near and dear to my heart. And it took me a while. It took me a long while to get that through to my head. Why didn't I get that promotion? Why didn't I get that job? Why didn't I get a big raise? Why is the sky blue? All of these questions, every day I chose not to answer. But I was answering them by not answering them. So, yeah. If the world has got you down, then make a decision every morning to change it. Now, let's go to what Black Friday deals did you obtain? I actually was pretty Black Friday. I got a 3D printer. Okay. I got a bamboo printer. Shh, Cindy doesn't know about it yet, so don't say anything. That's all I actually got this time. Mostly because I need to not have a whole bunch of stuff to go, to Alaska. I need less and less stuff. But if you haven't followed my my Alaska channel, there's a link down below, feel free to join it. It's hilariously bad. In fact, it's incredibly bad how much I've forgotten how to vlog. And so we'll be working on that. But I'm finding my happiness again. And it's that decision tree you're faced with every morning. It's been on me as well. And I'm in a better, different place. Oh, here comes Feral Syntax queuing up the multi-question here. Hi, Scott. Your thoughts on the Arri Alexa 265? It weighs 1/3 the original Alexa 65 and claimed to have one more stop of DR continued, correct? Do you think it has the old Olive processor stitched together as the original Alexa 65 or the new Olive 4 for the Alexa 35? See, it seems to be rental only. It is rental only, and everything that I understand, it is the original Olive 3s. And it is by moving the processing from the sensor off to it, allowed them to control the heat. They were able to stick a Peltier cooler, which, if you look at other cameras like Red and like the V-Raptors and Blackmagic and the Peltier coolers, do wonderful things. But it allowed them to stick that on there, which became very nice. They stuck it in basically the Alexa 35 body, and it's cool. It's cool. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I think it's going to do well. It is rental only because people do not want to know how much these things actually cost, because it takes a lot to get a working sensor, sometimes a large one. Is it really better to be a member? What you get as a member is my respect. No, you get to see videos before they're released, and there haven't been a lot of videos in the last month. In fact, I think there's been almost no videos in the last month. But it's basically like the 20-plus-year-old video I released to the public the other day. That was in the members only. They got to see that for a long time, and yeah, it's silly. It's dumb. But like I was telling Brandon Washington on his live stream, I release my stuff so that others, including myself, can realize how far you've come, or not in some respects. Oh, member of IATSE? I gotcha. That depends too. I would say less and less. Sadly, people don't want to hear that, but yeah, I believe less and less. Oh, that's funny. Jacob, let's see here. It says, woo! Bob, hey Bob, how are you? IMAX will never make a Steadicam friendly camera. This is as close as we can get. I mean, it's pretty friendly. It's cool. I think this camera will be for a lot of things, but I think the Sphere, I think Apple's goggles, and I think the filmmaker who's looking for that really wide medium format, 65 millimeter format, it's an option again, and it's a little more obtainable because that original Alexa 65 was a chunker. It was definitely a chunker. I predict Hoyt will be using this for sync sound scenes. You know, yeah. I think there will be a rush. It depends on, I don't know what the rental rate is on that one. But I think there will be a rush to see who can do something with it fast, the fastest. There are definitely people who are already using it and have been using it for, well, a while now. But yeah, good times ahead. I like it. What I think most important there is they didn't go up in resolution. In other words, I think we're at a pretty reasonable place. And that is, I think 8K for a full frame sensor or Super 35, I think that is more than enough for everything that we need in the next many years. Maybe not forever, but... And when you go wider, I think it's okay to add on to that. So 12K would be reasonable. But in the grand scheme of things, like the resolution of the Sphere is not that high. The resolution of IMAX projection is not that high. So 6K is a good number. And you throw in the Blackmagic 65 millimeter camera, the 17K, and you subtract those clear photosites that don't provide resolution. And then all of a sudden you end up with about a 6K wide format 65 millimeter sensor. It's a good spot to be in. I'm okay with it. I think 6K is a great place. I really, really do. Let's see. Whoops. What are you doing, Oakley? I've been seeing a brand new Komodo for selling for 3.5K. Brand new, crazy times. I mean, it's new. It can't be new, but I wouldn't doubt it if there's Komodos out there with that. I looked at my hours the other day on my Komodo. I was like, oh gosh, I'm like 1,100 hours. I like putting hours on it. It's pretty low actually for a camera. Cam, hello Cam. He says, great Scott. How are you? Let's see. Concept. I just zoomed into your moon image and saw Ralph's Alice. Well, that is impressive. That moon, I like the moon, but people don't understand why the moon is there. I'm like, because the black magic ATEM doesn't just let you put anything anywhere. Cam, rap battle soon? Ooh, rap battling? Rap battle video. Interesting. V-Raptor's VistaVision, maybe its only competitor. I mean, it's true. Resolution-wise, yeah, it's well. I mean, Venice 2 is out up. It's fair. Venice 2, the Monstro, the VistaVision from Red, Alexis 65, and the 12K Black Magic, which is a 4.6K real image, and then the 17K, which would be around a 6.5, I think. I haven't done the math on that one yet, but those are all in the same ballpark, and honestly, I think it's quite incredible. I love how much Black Magic has raised themselves through the ranks. And they're serious. They're slow, but they're not clueless. They know what they're doing. I think Sony needs to. I think they need to kill the sharpness on their Venice 2. I think maybe if they put some, I don't know, maybe some filtration on there, some anti-aliasing. It's not really bad at aliasing at all, but it's a really sharp image. It doesn't look that great in my opinion. It's good, but it doesn't look filmic. So in that respect, I do think Alexa 65 and VistaVision and the Blackmagic 17K are going to be those filmic choices out there. I hope we stay in 6K. I think everybody will rush to 8K as much as they can, because 8K it's good math for a full frame sensor. Basically, think about it this way: if you can make a 6K Super 35 sensor, then an 8K full frame mathematically will work. Now, you don't scale sensors very well. Red can teach you that one. The Lamborghini sensor of the Dragon 8K did not scale at all, very well at all. So that's why I say in theory. Carlos, hello, Carlos. How are you, sir? I think 6K is the middle. I think very few people should complain about 6K. Let's put it that way. There are use cases, but for the most part, that's really tough. It's really tough to complain about 6K because there's virtually nothing that can demonstrate it. What is the resolution of the sphere? Let me find out. Let me ask the man. Alex. I don't remember it being very big. If Nikon gets red raw, how would that affect your future purchases? Or if the KX gets Z mount? Well, it's very inevitable, Cam, that reds are going to get Z mount. I believe, I have to be careful, but I believe that we will see RF and Z. What happened there? Oh, there we go. I would like to see red raw on the Nikons myself. I gotta be careful. I just don't know if that's where they're going with it. I think they're going the opposite way. I don't know why. But anyway, how would it affect my future purchases? Well, first off, if/when Komodo X gets a Z mount, I will be strongly looking for a Z to RF adapter. And I hope like a black market somebody makes it, or they get licensed or what have you, because a Z to RF would just be a total, I'm going to use the word game changer, because wow, would that open up the doors. I am not heavily invested in Z lenses. I have 1, 2, 3, 5 right now. 2 of those are not mine. They are borrowed. I like the Z8, the Z9 image a lot. It is less than it is less than the Komodo X, but it pairs so nicely. Now, here's what I'm right now. I'm very happy. Let's just put it that way. I am very happy with my choices of cameras. What will change that is the next version of the Pixis sensor, the Cinema 6K sensor, the 13 stop to the 15 stop. When that comes out, it will make me question things, because I've compared the Nikon Z8 to Komodo X to V-Raptor. I've compared Z8 to Komodo X to the 6K, this guy right here. Let me unplug that. The Blackmagic 6K. And this guy is pretty special in that it knocked my opinion down one peg of one of the feature sets that I love so much about the Reds. It didn't make my Red less capable. What it did was the one thing that I truly love most on an image, it did better than the Komodo X. Now, you'll see that here in the review video that'll be coming out shortly, and it has to go back Monday. Comparing Komodo X to that one, Komodo X has more dynamic range. It's way up there, close to 17 stops, 16-ish, 16 and a half, somewhere around there. The Blackmagic has 13. Exposing them exactly the same, the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K pulled out far better highlights, far better skies than the Komodo X. It blew me away. That was impressive. Now, I say that, fortunately for Blackmagic, they do the same thing that Red is doing, where they're remapping middle gray on their ISO. So you can stack in your favor how you want to expose things. So on the Z or the Komodo X, I would rate it higher. I would go to 1600 or 2000 ISO so that I'd have more stops of dynamic range on the highlights, and thus I would get my better highlights up there. And I could do the same thing on the Blackmagic. I was doing fair for fair. Turn that off. Got hot in here. But my point there is, when Blackmagic comes out with their next sensor, it is going to be scary how much they are going to disrupt the market. Because we're in a place where there's some really top players out here. And they're playing hard. That was a long-winded answer to, I'm not changing anything yet. Scotty V says, to concept, I think people depend on 8K for cropping and poor 4K framing. I like shooting at what I've been. It's true, Scotty. It's true. But I also like forgiveness. Obviously, I'm wearing the red logo because it's my personality. The Nikon Z 1.2 lenses on a Komodo X or Raptor would be beautiful. Yes, they would. Nikkor has always made absolutely gorgeous glass. Now, their new glass, they kind of have these two different classes of their top tier. And it's weird because they both have the same specs, but one of them's twice the price of the other one. Clearly, they're not made by the same company. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the future. Cam says, the E to Z AF adapter is magical. It is. And it's two companies that are not being snobby, which is good for everybody. But like I've said before, Nikon, through Red, now has a license to create RF stuff. So technically speaking, Nikon can now create a Z to RF adapter. I hope to God they do it. I seriously doubt they will. But wow, would that be the coolest thing ever? Because Red's adapter would be on every Z mount out there. It'd be on every E mount, because you could now adapt RF to, let's see, E and L are the same. So yeah, RF. So RF to E would work. RF to L, which that would require, well, that would require, yeah. So they could make, they're the one company that could make an adapter for everybody. That'd be kind of cool. They just can't make an L to E. Let's see here. Josh says, even the EF to Z adapter, Megadap, works pretty well. The Megadap is amazing. I love the Megadap. Is that right here? Don't drop everything. Don't drop everything. Nope, that's the Sigma L to yeah, I have the Megadap. It works really well for autofocus. Pretty impressed. And I enjoy it because I can stick my EF lenses on the Nikons. I've heard that there are several prototypes of Red cameras with Z mounts. You haven't heard it from me because I have an NDA. Probably not even supposed to say that. I want a mount that allows me to use PL anamorphic, but allows me to rotate all PL lenses like the Atlas lenses for a potentially total. Oh, I like that. No, I hear you on that. And that is actually a cool feature you can do if you're looking for a drunk look. Rotating an anamorphic by shooting in 16:9 or cropped to 16:9 will definitely make you kind of go really bad. The best way to do that right now is just to buy one of those anamorphic adapters, like the 1.3x anamorphics, and just rotate it. But yeah, I hear you. Cam says, yeah, the Pixis has been magical to use in grade. I feel like the KX has more color fidelity, but the Pixis is getting close. And that is That is my opinion as well, Cam, that the 13 stops of this sensor is not the 13 stops of the previous pocket sensors, the Super 35 sensors. It 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 feels different, and I like it a lot. It's cool. I got to give it. I have not played with the Pixis, but everything that I understand about the Pixis is identical in every performance of the sensor. I doubt Black Magic would send me one to borrow, but maybe I could borrow one from B&H. But since I've had this one so long, they may not. Fearless Index says, agrees, Scott, that the clear photosites on the City 12K don't contribute to color resolution. But could they contribute to anamorphic Luma resolution like on the 8K Monstro monochrome camera? Luma, well, yes, that's what they're for. They are a luminance and a noise aggregator would be maybe a good term. They are there to help create more dynamic range, to create more sensitivity, to create more light coming in, which they can use in their calculations. But they are definitely not resolution. The images coming from this indicate show far more than 4.5 resolution that you mentioned. They are impressively detailed. Now, no, they don't. And here's why. If you take a 4K image and you put it out to 4K, you will have a slight amount of degradation there. You shouldn't, but you do, by recompressing as you put it out to the world for the world to see. If you take 4.5K down to 4K, you have a lot more information there. It doesn't seem like it, but it's enough that you get some good noise cancellation. You get some additional resolution that will look sharper. I have not seen, and I would like to see, an actual resolution chart with the... What are you doing, Rex? You hot? He wants to lay down in the dark. You know, I can stick the camera on you, buddy. I can do that. How about I just do that? They have a lot of detail, but you're not watching that at 8K. You're watching that at 4K. And so more information going in more information going in above 4K, compressing down to 4K will yield more information. It will look cleaner than 4K. Even if you took 4K or the 4.5K, 4.6K, and you take it up to 8K, it will show more detail than the 4K going to 8K because you're really just doubling it at that point. But the 4.6, you're a little bit less than doubling it. So you're not seeing 8K or 12K resolution charts. And if you pixel peep the raw footage from those cameras, the easiest thing to describe it is if you pixel peeped into your iPhone footage, it's about the same. It does not look that pretty. I'm probably not even allowed to say that. But yeah, I mean, you've probably read some NDAs. I probably should have reviewed that in my head before I said that. But so some of them do, King. Some of them do. And I'm not sure which ones, but I think it's surprising how many of them do. I know that that Ryan Avery had done a test with the Alexa 65 at Duclos lenses to see which ones cover. And I think even the 18 covered the Alexa 65. Because the Takeda Vistas have, what do they got, like a 48? I don't know what that website is. It's irritating. Vista. I'm just looking for the 18. I don't know why I didn't type it. Well, perhaps I'll just click right there and everything will be. So it's a 40 on that one. Let's see. It's 40.8. So what is the Alexa 65? Alexa 265 image circle. So what do we got here on the Film and Digital Times? Let's see. Image circle. So the image circle, that's pretty damn big. That's 59. That ain't going to cover it. There were some that I know that covered is. Yeah, that ain't covering it. It's not even covered. Interesting. We'll have to get some details on that. Boop-a-doo. Scotty V says to Concept, not a big fan of audio. Do you have a go-to system of mic labs with low hassle, great return? I have many. I want one. What is going on here? At Concept Design. Okay, well, you're asking them. So you're not interested in my opinion. That's fine. Why not just get Vericam LTs? I don't like the Vericams. Not gonna lie, it's like no one wants to hype it up. I don't like the skies on the Vericams. Well, Jeff says, are you using the L2 today? I am using the L2. Yes, I am. Which one's the L2? Now you got me wondering. I hate that I can't remember which one's which. I'm peeking behind the covers. Yes, I am. I'm using the L2. Thought so. But then I had them converted. I had them backwards at one point. And now I'm, in my brain, they're always questionable. Wow, that looks like a giant zip drive. Cognition says, hi, Scott, always arriving after work. Good to see everybody. Indeed, welcome. Welcome back. Good vibes. King says, Cognition, how is the C400 and the RF lenses treating you? Ooh. I thought it could be with the circular. Yeah, those. God, what do they call them? They called them rings, but they're gorgeous. I like it a lot. The inside the circles, yeah, that sounds like a name for a podcast. Hello, friends, and welcome to Inside the Circles, where today we're going to fill you in on the other side of the news. I believe in you, Vericam. Let's see. King says, a practical option at the moment for cinema medium format sensors. Well, for sure. I love Mamiya lenses. I've got a nice set of them. Not as nice as some people, though. And those people, they told the world. And now everybody buys them and the price went up. I want to test the L2 with the Sigma 50 to 100 on set next week to get some bokeh-licious shots. Play with it, Jeff, because I found that the 50 to 100, I found that the bokeh on these tutors did not mathematically operate like we expect. In other words, we feel the longer the focal length and the higher, or the, it's like a bird in here, the lower the T-stop, the better the bokeh. And that's not the case. And when I was on the 50 to 100, it was actually difficult to get them to show some bokeh. I believe I had to be at exceptionally close focus, but at like T4. That's my chair. My chair sounds like a bird. Yeah, you might want to play with that because it did not act the way I thought. And that's why I started I need to learn what these actually do. Complicated my question. What is a great multi-person mic? A multi-person mic? So one mic for everybody? That'd be an omnidirectional mic. And at that point, yeah. Are you asking that to concept design, or is that you? I don't. You're asking that to concept design, right? Or is that your name, Scotty? Maybe that's okay. Maybe this whole time. Okay, sorry. I was thinking you were adding concept design in your question, and thus you didn't need to do it. Multi-person mic. I don't think there's a good solution there because omnidirectional is going to sound like hot ass on a summer afternoon in any situation where you're trying to pull out multiple people. It's good for ambience, or ambiance, excuse me, but you're not so much for that. Give me your situation. Let me come up with a better solution, but I'm not an omnidirectional guy. Because my high regard for Canon has been overly stated here. Sarcasm. And Jeff says, ouch, less excited now. Try it, dude. Try it, because it was a bit of an eye-opener to me. I had to unthink to make it perform nicely. Cog says to Key, that's weird, because that shows the at there. I'm disappointed in the C400 as I was looking for something a little more intentionally crippled. So I had to return it. But love it. My favorite Canon lens is the Eye of Sauron 200 1.8. I mean, my favorite Canon lens is the 50 to 1000, but I mean, I'm really partial to the 150 to 500, with one exception. It would be nice if they'd have made that lens where it was not a pumper, and thus I'd be able to put the 2X on the back and run it at 150 with the 2X, as opposed to 300 at a 2X, which sucks. It's gotta be. No, I'm asking you. Best two-person separate mic. So best is always a tough one. I mean, best two-person separate mic. Okay, so now I'm reading too much into it. Are you asking separate people, or are you asking for, I've got two people and I want to mic them, what would you do? In that case, I would use a cardioid mic and put them overhead and just in an XY pattern, well, whatever angle that they are, as close as you could get to them. But it would be a cardioid mic. Unless I was outdoors, then I would use a shotgun. Sorry, that's not your fault. That's my fault. I was watching YouTube videos way too late last night. I'm a big fan of the forgot the name. I'll look it up. I don't have the name because I can't see it. If I saw it in front of me, I'd have the name instantly. The Octavas MKO12. I like those little mics. You get a match set for like $500. I think they're really good for dialogue. They're not the best, but they're $500 for a pair. Really good in that sense. Shotguns are not the right choice for most situations. They're only good really for outdoors. Otherwise, you're just going to pick up every reverb in the room. An R1 and a C80. I think you should just get the R5 too and just let it overheat. Let's see here. Cognition says, done. Hoping one of them to have at least some kind of recording limit. I mean, don't sell yourself short, Cognition. You are also capable of putting an artificial record limit in there. The one I like to call is the 64 gig CFast card or CF Express card. You put a 64 gig card in there, you got a 5-minute record limit. I like to dump all my mics for one great kit. I hear you. There isn't one great mic is the problem, because mics are designed specifically for the use case. I mean, if you have a really good on-set audio engineer, he might have 5 different mics that he would use depending on the situation. How far away are we from the talent? How wide is the lens? What's the room look like? Is it indoors, outdoors? Is there carpet? Is there tapestry on the wall? Is it hard shell? Is it stone? All of these things contribute to your success in picking up the person versus the room. So you have to think about a microphone pattern. So a cardioid is going to be like this, supercardioid, hypercardioid. Then you start getting to shotguns, super shotguns, then you get to parabolics. These things you might think, well, that I just have to make sure that I use this one indoors and I just point directly at them, but that's not the case. What happens is you're never pointing at their face. You're pointing in front of their face. When you are miking someone, you're coming in at an angle and you're hitting about this far out. The microphone pointed right here. That's where all of the voice, when it comes out, that's where it all comes together and then transmits out as waves. So, in other words, right up against the lips, my lips and my tongue can have an effect on that sound. But as soon as it gets a little bit further out, it's all into one and you're there. So by pointing here, that means if I use a super, just amazing shotgun and I'm pointed right in front, it's going to zoom right past and it's going to pick up the floor right here. Well, the floor is made of concrete. So it's going to bounce up and it's going to hit that up there. Well, that right there is solid wood. So it's going to bounce that and it's going to hit all over. You're going to have every reflection from the room and you're thinking, but wait a minute, that's going this way. The sound comes this way. No. I mean, yes, that's true, but the sound that I traced that way The room tone will come back that exact path straight in. So you're trying to balance the amount of room tone that you're getting to the person. That's one of the reasons that they use those shotguns outdoors and not indoors. The cardioid is going to have a wider pattern, so it's going to pick up more here, and then the rest of it's going to fall off more naturally. There's a lot to it, and I am classically trained in audio, but I am not a true full-time audio engineer on set. You'll see them grab Shep's mics every time, most of the time. 50 to 100 is cool, but for zooms, I'm choosing Fujinon. Oh, I like me some 19 to 90. Ooh, I love me some Fujinons. Real Steel Production says, Kate Crick, do you have a 201.82? I was just using mine last night. Indoor volleyball. Great for indoor low light, concert video. I'm afraid of it's going to blow the servo motor doing sports. I mean, those popular lenses like that, you can always get those serviced. There's always somebody who knows how to service those. Ted Baxter says, I like the C&E 14 to 35 1.7, but I can't afford it right now. Well, maybe one day. I'm okay with that lens. That lens is very warm to me. 5-minute record limit. You got it, Toyota. I do. I struggle to find a clean one. I use it on Monstro for no other reason than to blow out the background. In other words, I don't need it. But I had to have it. I understand that. There are some beautiful bokeh lenses out there. I mean, I love the... do I have that one? Do I have those on here? Let's see. Really? Really? I thought I had those. Oh, there's one. So, like this one, I mean, it's going to be hard because I don't have a hookup in here. But like, you see the beautiful bokeh on that one. Guess which lens that is? I loves me, and that's a macro shot ish. But put a guess on that bokeh-licious. I love that bokeh. I have a whole series of those. I never finished them. Place your bets. Place your bets. Let's see here. Danny, hello, Danny. Is that a Milwaukee stacking toolbox in the background? The last piece of my Flex system came in today, being used for audio card. Danny, it is not. Why, this is the ever so slightly better Klein Mod Pack. Mod Pack? Mod Box. It's ever so slightly better. There's a lot of people converting from the pack outs to these Kleins, and I dig them, man. They are too cool for school. They're ever so slightly bigger. Their drawers are better. Let me grab these. I just happen to have a whole bunch in here. Let me put my Cam Mackey hat on. I'm totally shilling for Modbox right now. I would love for Modbox to sponsor me. That'd be kind of awesome. But unfortunately, I've already purchased everything. So they have the half full height. These things are incredible. Then there's the smaller, the half ones, which are thinner and all movable. They all have the French cleat system on there. They all lock really well, and I truly adore them. They are awesome, and yeah, you're right. For the pack-out system is really close, and for organizing, oh yeah, they're amazing. I do dig it. I dig it. Yes, gear acquisition syndrome. Absolutely. It's the best. Scott, have you tried the Aputure ADC? I have not. Awesome light. I did some testing. No PHFX, extensive. And it was clean. I wanted to test the tech before ordering a 1000Z. Yeah, I think it's a really cool light. I don't have the bandwidth right now to be testing lights. So I have not reached out to borrow one, to test one. I don't want to just sit around with one. So yeah, it is what it is. Cognition says, I love the Sennheiser 441U dynamic. It's reasonable, Mike. Thoughts on the Shep CBIT 5? It's a great mic. I mean, not much. No, I wouldn't complain about it at all. It's an industry standard, really. Sorry, no opinion. My experiences is still duped, although I've heard Shep's mics are awesome. Shep's mics are very awesome and pricey. You're going to pay for it. Ted Baxter says, DC Athena 25. Yeah, it's a good lens. I dig it. I enjoyed it quite a bit on my test on it. I'm an audio noob too, but was considering the CBIT. Wow. I don't know if I should just get more MKH 416s. Well, that's a shotgun. The CBIT is which one is that one? Is that the shotgun? I thought that was the hypercordioid. CBIT 5. It is the shotgun. Okay, well, I mean, same thing. There's no complaints on it. On that one, comparing the Shep's shotgun to the 416, I don't think you'll find very many people complain about the difference. I can only use the Shep's. I can't use the Sennheiser 416. I like the 416. I've got a 416. Good evening. Hello, Dirk. How are you? And Cognition says, hi, yeah, Dirk. And Dirk says, Cognition, good evening, buddy. Anyone know how to use Houdini? Not me. That is for sure not me. King does. There you go. We're making connections, making friends. That's what we do here for that macro shot. Oh, sorry, Baxter. Okay, gotcha. Nope. It was, yeah. So we didn't get any other guesses. It was, it's right over there. It was the Canon 70 to 200 2.8. That is a bokeh-licious lens. I'm telling you, man, that thing is so sharp, but makes such great, beautiful bokeh. It is the Otis of 70 to 200s, in my opinion. Thoughts on the new light window fizzlock? I don't know what this is. What is this? Light window fizzlock? What did I miss? Really? Is that's the e-paper thing on the side. That is really cool. I really, really dig that. With a however in there. The however is, with 3D printers now, you could print the tags super cheap. So at that point, it becomes do I spend it? But I mean, that thing is really cool, and it does record the information. That is cool. I remember seeing that at City Gear, and was really impressed with it. Very cool. It's the new way of mounting your focus motor. Oh wait, no, that's not the fizzlock. Why did it come up with that? Okay, well, let's go to light window then. Fizzlock. So, anti-rotation. Interesting. Huh. Well, I'll be honest, it's not a problem that I've had, mostly because there are two solutions: the standard solution, which is just clamp it down hard, and the other one is the torque your gears, the what Gregory created. Just totally blanked on the name. They're right there, but the lens the lens the lens. Dang of it! I'm gonna grab it because Greg deserves nothing but the best. Torque your motors. Hi. The lens cuff. There we go. I have it out and not packed away because I was actually using it the other day. Yeah, the lens cuffs. That is the other solution that I use that basically will lock those. Come scratch my back. That will lock down the fizz motors. Nope. No. No. That side. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the good stuff right there. Okay. Whew. I don't know why getting up made that itch, but it did. You can let clickies out. Rex will, of course, went in. But that's kind of a cool design. It makes sense, just double locking. That one. Let's see. Jacob says, learning Houdini, done with Blender for a lot of things. I want to kick in Blender. It just crashes by way too much. POS reliability. Fair enough. It looks amazing. It's pretty simple there, Dirk. It's kind of a why didn't I think of that thing? But I can dig it. They're affordable. They're not expensive. Pretty cool. It's basically a way of attaching your fizz motors to two rods as opposed to one, keeping them from popping off. For audio, is it true rule of thumb use 2+ of the same mic to get consistent audio? Well, ideally, yes, but on top of that, no two people have the same voice, and there are microphones that don't sound good on certain people's voices. That's just kind of a rule of thumb. But ideally, you would. Ideally. Greg says, filters like black mist, real glass, or same effect in post. So I like filters a lot. I tend to use really the Revar Cines, the PA tiers. It's really one of my favorites. The Pro Mists are solid choices out there. There's a lot of them. The one in post, Scatter. So Scatter was recommended by a friend, and I reached out to them, and I have not done my video on them yet. Scatter is the one plugin I found for Resolve that does a pretty darn good job of emulating the filters. But you got to put in all the information properly or it doesn't. I did a test here with several filters on several lenses, several lighting conditions, and took it back to Scatter and was pretty blown away at how close. Now, what I found was the streaks were still off. Like I needed to use like 200% strength to equal the same amount of the filter. but it was pretty amazing how well it did. Kind of impressed with scatter. So look at scatter. I forget who makes that, but look up scatter post filtration. Pretty cool. But I carry around all my filters with me when I'm on jobs that require filtration. That Shep's mic is almost 10 inches. Yikes. I can't. It's a family show. I started with Rhino and then Houdini. I use C4D for quick things. I've tried Blender like 4 different times, and it's just not for me. I liked Cinema 4D more than I liked Blender, but I am not a 3D person. I'm really, really not in that brain. I can't. My brain does not function that way. So those of you that do, kudos for you. Boop boop be doo. Such a dude. I own an A7S III and rented it to others. I had my own on the monopod. I let it go for 2 secs. Then, oh no! Ouch! 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 But you need multiple length cuffs where the Vizlox. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Love Greg and the lens. Yeah, no, you're right. Looking at that, it is a. Why didn't I think of that kind of idea? It's kind of amazing. It's pretty simple, and it's really affordable. Cognition, don't underestimate my noobness. I had the A7S III since launch and maybe used it 4 times. Got a Sattler tripod for a 2-pound A7S III. Yeah, but that's some smooth painting you got there. Cognition, don't underestimate. Oh, wait, I just did that? Weird. Yeah, King. Oops, there we go. I'm all ears. I just can't justify using Blender and investing more time in it. Yeah. Cog says, but the Sattler is good for life. Yeah, it's a buy once, cry once. Now, depending on the Sattler, though, they do make some lightweight ones that won't work forever. That's where things like the O'Connor is truly a buy once, cry once for life because it is infinitely adjustable for weight. So it could go down to like nothing. Even though they say 10 pounds, it's way less. But yeah, you're going to cry a lot. I cried extensively. But it's great for passion projects and do most things. Yep. Pipeline. Sorry, I don't speak 3D. Black Pro Mist has Tiffin fallen from favor? No, it's not that they've fallen from favor, Danny. It's just that there are lots of people that can make those filters. It's not specialty anymore. It used to be very few people had the capability, the technology, the know-how to do so. And now it is a totally different animal. So it's harder for Tiffin to differentiate themselves out there. I love Tiffin. Tiffin's great, although some of their filters are a little green in my opinion. But it's as soon as they come out with something, somebody's going to come up with the exact same coating. Yeah, so it's tough. Tiffin is always living on the edge, but great company, really are. Great people. Tried to join me for Cigar Night several times. Hit that like button. I appreciate that. Well, that's good to hear, King. King says, I missed the sale the other day on Sattler Activate. Oh, yeah. What do you use for Houdini for? Don't get the Activate. Lots of problems. Interesting. This is Super Activate is the one you had? Yeah. No. Get a higher number. Activate is defective. Oops. Scott, what do you expect from Red in 2025? What I sucks being under NDA. I would expect to see releases. Probably one sooner and then two slightly later. But I would expect to see great things from Red. Red is so not done. It's awesome where Red is. What activate problems? What? Scotty V says, am I the only one? I'm the only like button guy. Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I have the Active 6 and Flowtech 100s. Okay, let's see here. Real Steel says, hey buddy, what's up? What you doing? Scotty V, we are all so enamored by the show that we forgot to hit the like button. Hey Rexy. What you doing, buddy? What you doing? Ooh, that feels good, doesn't it? Oh. I was so happy because he was laying down for the camera where you could actually see the shark on his back perfectly. And then right before the live stream started, he moved. That's what he does. I was disappointed in a set of Shane Hurlbut endorsed Tiffin that were supposed to reject our pollution in blacks. Problem is, funky color cast overall. It's hard to make things do multiple things, and yeah, it's a thing. Let's see what. Just make sure I didn't miss anything over here. I have this monitor up here that's going into my teleprompter, and I'm just going to move this. I have to use software on my Mac so that I can invert it and flip it. But the way you have to do it is you have to emulate it, and then it puts one over here and one above it. So the one that's up here is above it. The same monitor is to the left as well, but it's not backwards. So when I mess up and go to the left, everything is funky. Let's see here. I'll be using Houdini primarily for procedural effects and more. Robert Deltour. Hello, Robert. How are you, buddy? How are you doing? Are you still teaching, or are you? I feel like you were back in the daily grind. Is that correct? Last thing you'd want to hear is carry that Alexa rig up the mountain. But now you can get a 5.8 version. But rental only, kind of sad in a way. Well, I mean, let's not be too naive. That 5.8 pound camera will turn into a 35 pound rig. There's no question. And you'll still carry it up the hill, and you'll like it, because that's what we do. Where am I at? Wow, where am I? A whole bunch of comments just came in. There we go. Cognition. There we go. What's the reason for Airy producing a rental kit? It's the cost. If you knew how much it cost, it would shock the ever-living crap out of you, and you wouldn't buy it, because getting a large sensor manufactured, thus why the Blackmagic 17K is not out, it's hard, because every time it grows, your percentage of defect increases. The chances are you got one defect and you get your final large one, and then you're done. Art, hello, sir. We went with the Takina IRND over the Tiffin. Pretty reasonable. The Tiffin stuff, I prefer the water white versions, and they only have a couple that have the water white. But I just found a lot of green with some of the Tiffin stuff. But not everything. I do like Format High Crest. They're their versions of filtrations are pretty good. Basically, really, really good hair. I'm not sure what your pipeline, but I use Houdini for crazy simulations. Robert says, I'm back in the freelance world with a new 1-ton G&E package and a DIT set. Look at you. I'm DITing next week. I'm excited. Driving to Houston. Working with my buddy again. So does the new 265 have electronic indie? It has slot-in indies. They might produce an electronic version that slots in, but it is a cartridge system, very similar in size to the red electronic indie, but it slops in right into the side, which is not bad. It's fine. Well, Baxter says 35 pounds versus like 120. Well, this is true. This is true. Ari is wilded out. Can't believe we can't buy as a 265. I remember Monstro Ranger was a rental only at release. Well, the Ranger, so Ranger was never rental only, but they made it specifically for the rentals. You could buy one right off the bat. You just had to call and go, can I buy one? And they go, yeah, you can. Yep. There's your slurp. There's your slurp, King. Scotty V says, I'm a fan of your sensor explanations. It's far from simple math. It is, I mean, the best explanation, the best example of it, and I've repeated it, many of you have heard this many, many times, but Red Dragon, an amazing sensor. Amazing. 6K, incredible. They said, we'll make it 8K. We'll just expand the design out, magic. And then when they go to print the die, they would get maybe one good sensor. That entire die cost $175,000 at the time, which means they were selling those upgrades for $20,000. I think it was $10,000 if you had if you had the carbon. I think it was 10. Which the way Jared explained it was every time somebody delivered a Dragon 8K upgrade, he was throwing away a Lamborghini. It was the way to do it because it doesn't just scale, which is why you find sensor stitching now, because it allows them to put a couple together and make smaller sensors with a lower failure rate, or the risk of failure is way, way lower, and put them together. But that's still not perfection. There's still problems that can show up. Art says, respect for Ryan Avery guy. Thinking about some vistas in 21, 29, 40, and 60. Oh man, I love where your brain's at, Art. I'd take a 28. They don't make a 28, and I'd take a 32. In replacement of those, the 29, and then the 40, and then the 65, yeah, and then the 21, yeah, that is a set of focal lengths right dear to my heart. Who can we expect to make medium format city lenses? Honestly, it's going to be a wait and see. It is entirely possible that we will see some from China before we see some from big brands. Mostly because they could just throw the money at it real fast, throw something out there, and see what happens. The real thing, though, it's going to boil down to you're renting a 265. You can't own it. So you're probably going to rent the lenses. If you're going to rent lenses for a 265, you're probably not going to buy Chinese. That being said, there is a medium format camera coming that is not hyper expensive. And hyper expensive, Basically over 20 grand. And that's correct. Yes, our medium format Fuji. That one is coming. King of Soda Houdini, Josh says, have they announced the 265 rental rates yet? I don't think they've been announced. And yeah. As far as I know, they are very similar to the original. Danny says, carry that camera up the mountain. Bad flashback to Uinta Mountains in 1979. Tried to hurry up in knee-deep snow for a critical sunset shot, and the sun was low. Batteries on 35mm Airy cold. Wow. I don't like running up hills. I'll give you that one right up there. I don't like running up hills with stuff. I'll give you that one next. And I really don't like running up hills with stuff in the snow. So hats off to you there. You earned your extra piece of meat on your for Crafty that night. Ryan Avery made me a custom 4x4 indie plate. It was awesome. Ryan is an awesome dude. He truly is. And I have some stuff coming, reviewing soon. Feral Syntax says, what's going on with the Panasonic flagship mirrorless line? They've been only releasing mid-range cameras in the last 2 years, and the new S1H, yep, the S1H, missing action 6 years. Are they quit? They quit the cinema market 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. They are officially out of the professional cinema market. That don't mean they won't come back though. Some insiders in the industry think that since Lumix has been a loss-making endeavor so far, they decided to stop. No, they literally announced that they abandoned the cinema division. Hasn't been transparent with their customer base. Yeah, they very much have. Fujidon has a long history with large format lenses, though view cameras, not cine. Yes, I am very interested in their camera. I think their camera is going to be interesting. I just get a red or an airy and some good lights, and then you don't have to worry about the mirrorless world. Like Scott says, buy once, don't cry at all. I never said that. I cry a lot. I'm crying right now. I'm crying just thinking about it. How confident are we that the new red Nikon camera will have Z-mount? Pretty confident. Pretty confident. I'm not officially speaking there. Wow, did I got all the questions through there? Wow. You know, it's a weird day because not one comment from Instagram today. Lots from what do we got here? Robert, look at you with your transit van. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you got your Pixis. What do you think of the Pixis there, Robert? I know you're a big fan. Oh, and the Blazars. Yeah. Ooh, nice cart. Nice cart. Now, what brand cart is that? What is that sticker that you tried to pull off of that cart? Why would you pull off a sticker off your cart? That seems very odd that you would do such a thing. Robert Del Tour, what are you doing, sir? What are you doing? I didn't pull the sticker off my cart back here. It's definitely a no name. I counted blinks. Yep. Art says, been shooting Fuji for years. Find the Eterna interesting. Lots of complaints about the rolling shutter on the GFX too, but in the few times I've shot with it, it's been positive. I'm very interested in what it's going to do. I read so many bad reviews about a certain pin in the Active 8 head breaking or getting stuck. Were those fake reviews? Interesting. Blazar 1.33 autofocus is interesting. It is interesting. It's sad that it's only E-mount right now, but I mean, think about art, how close we are to, I'm not going to say foolproof artism, but anamorphic, autofocus, auto exposure, high dynamic range, all in a tiny little mirrorless camera. It's kind of a point and shoot kind of cinema. We're getting so close to that. But that's where the artists come in. That's where we shine sometimes. Scott, my last question, I was not referring to the cinema camera market, but to the flagship hybrid mirrorless. Okay. So they don't make their own sensor, or they don't design their own sensors anymore. So they're kind of at the mercy of whatever Sony will let them have. And it was kind of the reason delete that. Delete it. They're not going to just come out with a new camera with the same sensor. It's not worth the development time to that. If you've noticed, there's not been a whole lot of developments in the Sony sensor world lately. That's my own personal sticker for my rental. It's an innovative Voyager. The Pixis has been a blast so far. Great camera for the price. I'd say it's about $5,500 for a usable one. That seems about right. I feel like it's a little large for what it needs to be. I don't know the reasoning behind it, and it could just be that the ASICs that they're using in there are just not that thermally efficient. But it feels like it's about a third larger than it should be. That being said, it's cheap as hell to get into one, so hard to complain. Differently than the cinema camera space, Panasonic flagship mirrorless customers are not aware yet that the company is planning to ditch the market too. Yeah, maybe. Did you pull the trigger on any Black Fridays? The only thing I pulled the trigger on, Danny. Oh wait, I have to be careful because my wife is listening now. I didn't buy anything cinema related on Black Friday. Mostly because I don't need to be acquiring things to take to Alaska, except for batteries. That's the only thing I need to acquire ahead of time before I go to Alaska, because those are the things that'll be difficult to get there. Pixis battery mount is a no-go for me. I kind of saw that too, King. I thought that was a little bit of a, what were you thinking? Yeah, I don't get that one. All right, it is 5:45. What do we got here? Falcor. Robert Del Toro. Hey, y'all ever been in the situation where you're like, you know what? I need to go ahead and get a case for that that monitor or that whatever you got. You're like, now would be a good time to get that. Got a little extra cash, time to get that. And then you go to Amazon, you do all the research on it, you find everything, and then you say, okay, that's the case. That's the cheapest, best one for the, and you add it to your cart. And when you, right before you click add, you see, you purchased this item 2 years ago. And you're like, yeah, that happened to me. I'm not proud of it, but it happened to me. Then I had to go find the case. And I thought that case was something completely different. I didn't label it, so now I label the stuff. Well, thousands of FX6 owners were happy with the BPU mount, but I have the little V mount adapter that works well enough. I kind of dig. I have some hopes here on where we can go with these little guys right here. I like them. We've got the Core's power edge snaps that don't go on backwards, but they go on frontwards. You get a hot swappable battery. And right now, the way I would do it is I would plug in to the second battery. Plug everything in the second battery, and then you hot swap out the middle battery. Otherwise, you're going to have, well, I guess you could take that one and just put one in between, and then it'll charge that one. That's fine. You could do that. Actually, you don't. You could just replace the back. Yeah. There's some options here with these Power Edge. I've definitely been playing a lot with them. They're quite useful little batteries. I do wish the magnets were even stronger, though. Let's see. Cog says, first I've heard of the pin problem. Art says, if you need a 1650, nope. I've got plenty of Pelicans. I literally no. It was the one for the OC monitor. There is a special case that is cheap on Amazon. It's like $130, and the foam from the monitor that it's in the packing box drops straight into the case itself. As wild, and I've had this thing, and I was transporting this without the case for like 3 jobs, and I completely forgot that I bought it. I appreciate you, Art. You're a wonderful human being. I will tell you that. FX body shape and no sensor shield was a no-go for. Well, it's FX6 is the body shape doesn't bother me at all. The FX6. It's just about efficiency. The Blackmagic really likes that. Let's put a whole bunch of LCDs on a side of a camera. And I don't think we need that much. I think we really just need to focus right on the main screen, really. What did I do? I clicked the wrong one. I haven't made the plunges in any size, but all the YouTubers I've seen with reviews have never mentioned problems with the 8. I've not heard any problems with the 8 myself. Learning the Flex Stack pack system I just built, I was amazed to empty a ton of... Same. You could get so much in there. And say, I went also from the Sortimos. The Sortimos are like 5 times the price of these, and I get way more stuff in these. I do love that. What? I had a chance to get the Flowtech 75 with the Flowtech used twice, but no warranty for the $2,100. Read those reviews. Interesting. Daniel Stilling, hello, sir. Hello, brother. How are you? We need to get you on. Dadgummit. What are you doing next Friday, Daniel? What's your next Friday like? Let's just schedule this right now so I can blast it out there. Let's get some committals. We'll just schedule this thing right here live. No, it's just you and me. What do you do next Friday? We'll get you on. I'm tired of being embarrassed for forgetting it. Did Corebag do a limited release partnership for Red patches? Tired of it. I think Red just made them or had them make them, possibly. They are pretty cool, though. I will give you that. And if you've ever gotten into embroidery, oh my God, is it expensive. Those typos. Carmission, are you low-key eyeing the small rig potato chip tripod? I'm not. But you're talking to Carmission. I am not a fan of that tripod at all. Oh, boy. What I'm about to say will probably earn me a place in small rigs. Don't talk to him, book. But if you look at the tripod head on the video head on that, and then you go out to Amazon and you type in professional video tripod, You'll see that exact head on every $130 video head and tripod combo. And then you look at their leg system. Not it's not a confidence inspiring system. It's probably fantastic for the run and gun person. For the person, the travel filmmaker, probably amazing. Maybe a little too heavy. I feel like that tripod is, as far as usefulness, I put it like 2 steps down below the Surae. And the Surae, the VHS 10, the Surae is like $250 cheaper, $350 cheaper, I think, than that one. I'm sorry, I don't see the allure. The allure of pushing one button and everything comes down and level. Yeah, amazing. But I don't see that tripod as a professional video tripod. I'm sorry, Gene. I'm sorry. Any room next to extend the red top handle at a reasonable price? Mid 49 kit looks decent. Yeah, Isaiah, the mid 49 is one of the better top handles. Tilta makes a long handle that goes around it. I like the mid 49, and on the V-Raptor, it's less of a problem than on the Komodo X, where the handle kind of goes over the screen. But I think mid 49 makes excellent parts. I mean, truly. And I don't think Mutiny, I don't think they make a top handle. Let me look. I was not aware. They make a... I think it's because they didn't just want to get into whatever game everybody else was in. Yeah, I don't see them with a handle. I would look. Tilta's is good. The mid 49, I think, is really good. I really liked everything that mid 49 has put out. Good people. Flowtech 75 plus action for $2,100. Man, I can't type. Boop. Daniel Stilling says, would love to do it. Boom! Everybody, we're going to have Daniel Stilling next Friday on the live stream. We're making it happen. Daniel, get some behind the scenes shots ready. Because you get to control them. Back in the old days, the COVID days, I used to have to do it all myself and just put up the next slide. You'd be like, oh, on that one. But yeah, get some of your work ready, because you got an amazing repertoire of work. And we're going to talk with our friend Daniel, because he's awesome. And he's got hair. I don't have hair. I wish I had hair. Before 9 is my favorite Komodo X rigging. Yeah, King. They make really good rigging. And I freaking love the Speedball, man. The Speedball, you will find it on every build, every main build. There's the Speedball right there. Love it. Love it. That is by far my favorite monitor mount. Ooh. Daniel says, I have a movie coming out in theaters January 31st. Would love to talk about it. Interesting. Are you allowed to talk about it beforehand? We might need to bring you back for a second if you're not allowed to talk about certain stuff. I know I want to talk about ick like crazy, but I gotta wait. Didn't you review a Surae tripod? I did. I like it. What did you think of it? That you bought the VHS 10 combo for $400. It was on sale. It was an incredible deal. What did you think? My wife was like, she was holding this one part. She goes, "What is this?" I said, "It's the one part that I said I wasn't sure about." It's the handle. What'd you think of that, Danny? I was pretty interested to hear what you think. Yeah, the potato tripod seems a bit gimmicky. I get it. I just don't. I'm not gonna get it. Gotta run. Hope to see you soon, my friend Robert. Yes, we definitely need to at least bump into each other at some point. Probably gonna be NAB, I'm guessing, because I'll be moving to Alaska here soon. So yay. So long, Robert Del Tour. Fairless Syntax says, Scott, since there are not too many large format lenses on the market yet, and since there are many accessible full frame fast lenses, T1.5, I don't see the advantage of the large format. Yeah, I hear you. In terms of optics, shallow depth of field, what else could justify medium format look besides shallow depth of field? Yeah, I mean, it is a thing because field of view is lens based. You have a variety of lenses now, but shallow depth of field is going to look different. T15 lens on a full frame versus a, what would it be on medium format? T2? T2 to 1? T2 2? They will not look the same because a lens at T22, if it's a T18 lens or a T15 lens, is going to perform better at T22 than it would at T15. So there are wins that you can get in there. For instance, look at the Cooks, the Cooks SP3s. When you crank those down all the way, they go crazy, and people don't like the crazy on sometimes. But when you pull them back a little bit, they're very nice. Well, same thing can be said if you are able to operate that lens. Well, not necessarily that lens, it would have to be a medium format lens, but if you're able to operate a lens at a more premium spot, then you're going to have a prettier bokeh. But ultimately, it's always been about getting that look, the field of view look. Finally, the dynamic range is not that much improved unless you see the new sensor tech. 15 stops, Alexa 35, 17 stops. So why the hype for medium format since full frame could match most of the specs? Yeah, the dynamic range is there for post. So it's hyper reality looks can be achieved. I mean, there's not that many filmmakers who are truly using like all the dynamic range of V-Raptor, but there are times when they need that dynamic range to pull something out that they didn't have. For instance, maybe the sky was not important that day, but for whatever reason, that sun just popped right off the top of a cloud and bounced up and gave you this color pop, and it was incredible. And the detail in that cloud was incredible. Well, all of a sudden you now need that dynamic range, and you're going to pull it down into the usable range of the projection. So, yeah. Medium format, it's... I don't have a definitive answer on that, Feral Syntax. I will pose that question to a bunch of DPs and ask them what they think. I personally, I have medium format film cameras, and I like them for a lot of different reasons. A lot of it is the size of the negative, and that could also be, well, for sure that would be something on the digital format. When you are running 6K at Super 35, 6K at full frame, and 6K at 65 millimeter, those photo sites are going to be much, much larger on the 65 millimeter, which means there's a whole lot more information, color, and, well, sensitivity available to it as well. So, resolution-wise and field of view-wise, there is still much to be gained from that sensor itself, just by the fact that the photo sites are larger. But I will pose that question and find out. I think it's a good question. Mutiny makes cages. They do, but they don't make top handles. I didn't see one. Yeah, I have not seen top handles. There you go. Show the speedball up close. Sure. It's heavy because it's built out as a... So I did a review on the speedball. I'm going to place it right here. So this is one... The speedball comes with two. I'm going to remove your question here so everybody can see it. So the speedball is this articulated ball, and the speedball itself actually comes with two of these ball and socket. But you can lock it in any position, any way you want. You can bring it over here to the side. If you have the second one on there, you can come over a little bit more. The other thing about it is they've got springs on it. So I pinch it. So now when I pull it off, it doesn't just fall off the ground, because that was a problem before. So I stick it on the ball right down here, tighten her up, boom. If I want it flat, boom. If I need it back over here, boom. If I need it over here, boom. My first AC being a pain in the butt, boom. So it's just a exceptionally versatile and solid mount. And I rarely use the second link on there, mostly because I rarely put it off to the side too far, or I rarely am putting it down. So I just use the one link, which gives me all the versatility that I need, and it just locks in there. But that Mid 49 speedball is amazing. I like this array. Okay, interesting. Well, come on now. Give me more. You like it okay. You didn't say you love it, so tell me what you don't like. It's important. I was thinking about getting the Shoddy Mutiny cheese plate for the Komodo burger build, but I'll just 3D print it first and then see if Mutiny wants to market their cheese mounts with the Komodo burger. See you at the cigar bar, NAB. Oh, yeah, I'll be there for sure. Meaning, give me free cheese plate. Well, everybody asked for the same thing there, Jacob. Paid extra for the mid spreader, which is currently free. I needed a lightweight tripod for a specific low-budget shoot. Yep. Nicholas, hey, you probably don't know about it, but does the new OG Komodo 1.8 beta update edit FPS means you can custom FPS like DSMC 2? Wasn't that part of it? Mine is currently not on the beta build because I was using it for production. I thought that was now in there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Chris Flores, hey Chris. When is it safe to update red firmware? I want to try the 1.8 when it feels good to you. For the most part, it's not going to fail. There could be little quirks and things that don't happen, but the way I would do it is test it, use it, and when you feel good with it, then you can roll with it. If don't try anything new with the beta firmware on set. That's the worst time to do it. So I tend to revert back just in case if I'm in a situation where I might have to roll with some punches, so to speak. But for the most part, with the exception of one firmware release, they've been pretty bulletproof. I have not felt bad about them. I'm just not currently running on them because when the release version of it came out, I was on a shoot and needed to flip it back. Nobody complained yet. This is true. Check out the Espa Whiplash music video to literally see the Raptor. I thought it was cool. We're using the look of the Raptor to design the aesthetic of the music vibe. Good song, too. Interesting. I'll check that out. Great music production. Art says, question, if the Ansel Adams zone system is based on 10 stops of dynamic range, how does the digital cover 12 to 16 stops of dynamic range? You elongate. So basically the 10 stops, you add as best you can, you try to add into those three zones. Uh, I I was never a follower per se of the zone system, but I know it and I use it, but I would divide it out. So if you've got 13 stops over 10 stops, then you go 111. Uh, you got additional 16 stops, then 222. Do it that way because it's you're doing the same thing. You're just elongating those sections. Old film guy asking. Thanks for showing the speedball scar. You're welcome. Josh says Mutiny makes innovative riser plates to use the Raptor top handle. Yes, that's true. That Raptor top handle is pretty cool. And I wish I had some information on the GDU stuff. There's still stuff happening on GDU. It's just not my place to talk about it. But remember, Scott, that companies made medium format sensors by stitching small. Yeah, well, that's how the large format, the Alexa LF is done. That's how the V-Raptor's done. Available, so there's no available in pixel pitch, probably just a slight improvement in DR. But you got to think about, well, okay, so yes, that's true. When you think about the LF3, you had the Alexa Mini. The Alexa Mini had a really nice image. Everybody loved that image because the pixel pitch for the sensor size was a really good ratio. Then when they did the LF, they put two of them side by side. Well, technically they did the three LF threes for the Alexa 65 first. But you're just taking that one that everybody loves, you turn it on its end, and you got three more. Same thing with the LF, but the LF didn't translate well. It's interesting to think about, though. So Red allows you to do, yeah, absolutely, Cognition. You can't do it over the air. Just put it on your CF Express card, and when you pop it in there, it's going to pop up and say, "Do you want to?" And you go, "Yep." And away you go. Any suggestions on how to get usable audio into? Yeah, that was the one. The one beta firmware was about a year ago, and I was at Brandon Washington's Red Days that he had down in Houston, and I booted up my Komodo, and it was Komodo X, and it just went to La La Land, and it was something weird with that version of the beta. And I rebooted it several times, and I had been using it for 3 or 4 days before that, but everybody was starting to have the same problem, and so I downgraded that. So you definitely can downgrade. Get a usable audio into Komodo OG adapters preamp recorded it out. Yeah, the best way I would say to do it, Chris, is to get something with a really good preamp. So you could use like the Zoom H6 or the equivalent latest version of that. Go into Komodo, pull the preamp levels all the way down, plug the out of the H6 or whatever you're using, go into your mic in, and on your H6, pump up the output. So you're using the preamp on your H6 to go into OG. You don't want anything with the old audio interfaces of Red. You don't want to crank those preamps up really more than about 5 or 6 dB from the bottom, because you're going to get some noise. That's just nature of the beast. But that's the way I did. I always had the H6 just stuck right on the side of the tripod, and it was an 1/8-inch stereo cable going up into it. That's the way I did it. So the only advantage would be the optic look, shallow depth of field, but there are so many good fast lenses out there these days. See, I don't know if the Fuji uses a stitch sensor, and I don't know if the Blackmagic uses a stitch sensor. I don't have those details. Advantages there too. Yeah, it's a question. It's a question for the big guys. I am not a big guy except in size only. It's exactly what I do. Love my H6. I mean, it works. It really does work. I now I don't use the H6. I use the Z8 Pro. The Z8? No, the Z8's the Nikon. What is it? The Zoom 8. The 32-bit float 8-channel version is what I use, and I come out of that into it. Cog says, sound recorder to camera seems pointless. Maybe only for sync. No. You do it because the preamps in the cameras are not that good. And I would do it with almost any hybrid or mirrorless camera because they don't have dedicated preamps. It was Komodo X, and if you listen to Jared, it was all my fault, plus everybody else. They listened. They put in high quality preamps. And they did it on the production module, I think, too, on the DSMC 1. I think it was that one that had the high quality preamps. But they did it in Komodo X and now V-Raptor X, and I mean, way better. Sound recorder to camera seems pointless, maybe only for sync, but why downgrade your 32-bit float? Because honestly, you shouldn't need 32-bit float. I've said this many times. 32-bit float is about the things you didn't know. It's an insurance policy, but you shouldn't need it. You should know what's happening. I mean, it's nice for an insurance policy, but you should not be just plugging it in going, I got 32-bit float. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm a sound guy. That's not how it works. All right, Scott. And whoever else. Who wants to bet I can get Mutiny to give me a free cheese plate? I'm not taking that bet. Mostly because I know how many people ask them daily. It seems that Blackmagic City 17 stitched two 12K sensors. The Panasonic EVA maybe is not stitched, but it is a sensor designed for stills. Well, I mean, there's no difference really anymore. They're all of the same goals. Los Angeles director. Do post-production houses hate 32-bit float? No, but they're not going to ask for it. They're not asking for it. 32-bit float is for recording. The Starship launched from 5 feet away and not clipping. No, because your microphone will absolutely clip long before 32-bit float will. I want 32-bit float for dynamic range on video sensors is what I want. Trust me, bro. All right, do it. It's all good. I'm just saying. Mike, don't give him one. I win. No, I wouldn't do that. All right. Who's got last minute questions? I need to wrap up here. It is dinner time, and I know the wife's got sous vide steak going. And I like sous vide steak. Sous vide, baby, sous vide, baby. I'm the chosen one. You are the chosen one. But I have the high ground. Neo is the one. LOL. Yes. But what if I told you there's nothing in my hands because you're in the Matrix? Yes. What's up, buddy? You about ready, bud? I know, buddy. He's like, Dad, it's time. I know, I'm working on it. Chris Flores says, how would you about a Zoom F3 or Tascam FRV2 to Komodo for handheld shooting, also powering? The way I do it is I use those tiny little Noga arms and I screw it into the cage on there, and then I do the dumbest thing, and I wind the Zoom H2 or H4n or whatever onto it using the little quarter 20 on the back, and then I just kind of cinch it up against the side, And you end up with a cable mess, but it's the best you can do. Uh, how important is planning for an Alaska trip? Do you have hot pads for your hands? Oh, I have lots of hot pads for my hands. I got plans. I got plans, bro. I got plans. I've got 20,000 no, 20 kilowatt. You can't do 20,000 kilowatt hours. That's a lot. I got 20 kilowatt hours of battery back here. I got 9 kilowatts of solar panels. I've got 6,000 watts of, well, technically 9,000 watts of inverter. I got plans. I've got all my stuff. If you watch the Alaska channel, this link down below, and you suffer through my horrible vlogging where I don't seem to know how to tell a story at all, but I'm going to change that because I'm just going to throw comedy in it. You'll see how much we packed. Whew. This place is really kind of clean. I mean, there's a floor. There's been no floor in this place. Let's see what I can do here. I got spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle. As I go right. That may not be level, but we'll see. I don't even know what that's going to show. Oops, black. Oh, that's definitely not level, but there's no shelves on those walls. Let's see. I can do better. I can also level it too. There we go. Let's try that. It's hard to fathom. I mean, there's very, very little in here. Let's see here. Those vlogs are going to be epic. Well, they're going to be really good once I get back into the swing of things. Mixed pre's are great. I really love mixed pre's. I'm just a Zoom guy. Have you ever noticed that Komodo OG records audio with 3 frames of delay from time to time? It happened to be. I have not noticed that at all. Interesting. Road flares? No. For the road, maybe? I'm about to watch it. They're bad, dude. They're really bad. And I can't even stop talking about how bad they are in the vlog. I'm like, wow, I'm editing this. This sucks. That's why I said I'm going to throw comedy at it. I love those stackable trays. What brand is that? They are the Klein mod boxes. They work incredible. They are truly amazing. And they now have a rolling drawer system. So that's what I love now. I have the base rolling drawers, the double drawer, the triple drawer. Amazing. I wouldn't mind the quad drawer, but they don't make one yet. I know there's questions because I saw them on YouTube show up. I'm just waiting for them to show up here. Chris says, ever used any of the Beach Tech preamps for C? I used Beach Tech way back. Wow, way back. All the way back to the Canon XL1 days. Yeah. Better than the XL1, but not a whole lot. I'm picturing the most epic Journey road flares probably won't get used. Yeah, no. When I get into the swing of the Alaska stuff, plus, right now, it's all about packing for Alaska. Now, I do have a couple shot where I went to Alaska. They don't have a story yet, but I've got tons of footage. Those will be a little bit better. Most of it around here is packing and getting rid of crap. And I mean, how many different ways can you cinematically show that? You can't. So I don't, and it shows. Yep. Okay, everyone. Yeah, I think it's time. It has been a fantastic and wonderful Friday, and I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me because, it's kind of a fun thing to just kind of hang out with everybody and ask questions that I don't know the answer to. I mean, that's how we all learn. And yeah, you could subscribe down below to my Alaska channel, but don't laugh yet. Don't laugh yet. Give me some time. Everything takes a little bit of time. I'm also thinking about doing a generic podcast, not necessarily film related, just everything of interest to me. I don't know if anybody's interested in that. Most of y'all are film people, but let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know later because I'm going to have to get out of here and get my steak. But yeah, everyone have a wonderful, fantastic weekend. Remember to become a channel member if you want. Use the links. The affiliate links are amazing down below. Just click on them, disable your ad blocker, and buy all the things you want. One of y'all, I don't know who it was, one of y'all bought a whole bunch of stuff from B&H, and thank you. I appreciate that. That all helps. But everyone have a fantastic and wonderful weekend. Eat something nice. Make something delicious. Share with your loved ones. And, as I always like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Bye, everyone.